In a townhouse at a fashionable address in Manhattan's Upper East Side, every lamp blazed. There's a party going on, the last of the summer. Out on the terrace overlooking Manhattan's incandescent skyline, the orchestra takes a much-needed break. It's 10:30. The party has been on since 8 o'clock, and already the guests are bored. Fashionable debutantes in pastel chiffon party dresses wilt into leather club chairs, like frosted petites fours melting under the July sun. A cocky Princeton sophomore wants his friends to head down to the Greenwich Village with him to a speakeasy he heard about from a friend. The hostess, a pretty and spoiled young thing, notes her guest's restlessness with a sense of alarm. It is her 18th birthday, and if she doesn't do something to raise this party from the dead, it will be the talk for days to some that her gathering was dull as a church social. Raising from the dead. Welcome back. We're back, baby. Now, James, I was saying to you that we're kind of doing a new thing with my sort of sound test situation, which is I found a website, which I will share at some point, where each week I can basically tell it to give me a new, not a book recommendation. What it will do is it will give me the first 300 to 600 words of a book, and then there's a button that says reveal title and author. So I thought it would be fun to put you on the spot, a man who never reads fiction, to try and sort of guess what sort of book this might be, and then if you potentially recognize it. So just from that little kind of sliver of stuff, what kind of book? What are you thinking?
Easy. I already know. Yeah, I already know what book it is. It's Gossip Girl. You were reading,
right.
Obviously.
Your favorite novel, Gossip Girl.
Enter name of author, Gossip Girl.
Yeah. We all know. I mean, the author who needs no introduction. We all know who it is.
Of course.
Gossip.
Spoilers
for who wrote Gossip Girl, the book. We all know who that is.
Definitely.
Famous...
No, you're not. It doesn't sound. It sounds vaguely like you're googling something.
Sort of. No, I
did see a little bit of a rat-a-tat-tat down here on the keyboard as well.
I was actually just reaching to move my beer before I open it. But we all are obviously familiar
watch me really quick. Here's how I reach for my beer.
Up? Yeah. Well, I see. This is me reaching for my beer.
Okay.
So you kind of see the difference there. But I mean, we're obviously all familiar with Cecily von Ziesiger, who wrote Gossip Girl. But this, in fact, was not written by Gossip Girl. This is, in fact, a book called The Diviners by Libba Bray.
That was my second guess.
Yeah, so, let me tell you.
Damn.
Let me tell you, it's a spooky book. It's an independently published book, and go check that out if you're interested. The Diviners, Libba Bray, In the Spirit of All Things. Black Swan Society. I thought this could be an interesting addition. If you love it, let us know. If you hate it, don't tell me about it. James, let me say to you first and foremost, is our background moving?
What's happening? Because you said it was a spooky book, and I said, well, 'tis the season.
Oh,
tis the spooky season to get spooky.
Yeah. Now it won't be this episode or next episode, but the episode after that is going to be our first inaugural title I'm going to come up with. It's going to be alliteration of some kind.
Okay.
I was thinking like, I didn't write it down. I thought of this the other day in the shower and I didn't write it down, but like, some kind of a pun on the spooky season, and then, like spooky sexy
boys.
Sons speaks. It's something.
Sons
anyway, we'll work it out.
Spookicry.
Yeah, but we'll have a Halloween special episode. Okay. We'll do a big bonanza because I know you're a big fan of the spooky season.
Always.
You always have been. You never shut up about it. I'm always saying to James off microphone, shut the fuck up about Halloween. It's exhausting. I text it to you like once a day. And
I think you could ramp it up. I think you could ramp up the spookiness.
You think so?
I think you inherently have this obviously isn't new to anyone who knows you, but you have inherently a very Patrick Bateman-esque vibe about you.
100%.
So I feel like you embody the spooky season more than you give yourself credit for.
Yeah, but I'm not like the fun spooky season. I'm like this. I'm not like I don't make a good slasher film because it's too realistic. Do you know what I mean?
Some would say that would make it a great slasher film.
That's true. And some would say, welcome to The Advisory, the first and last advice show on the internet, where we answer questions to learn a little bit about what it means to be human. All advice is final and legally binding. Can I see that disclaimer, please and thank you?
Absolutely, you can.
I like that got you. You weren't expecting it, were you?
And my favorite thing
Why? It's not censored again!
So my favorite thing about the show that we do each week is this fucking piece of shit just moves of its own accord. I think our OBS is haunted.
I think I broke my lung. That's so funny. Hey, James, are you pressing like save or whatever whenever you do that, or what? Like,
is that how
the
OBS
deal,
works?
dog?
do I need to control S?
I don't know.
Let me hit it right now. And not to be
Yeah.
confused with me reaching for my beer, let me hit Control S.
Okay, I see what you're trying to do there, and that's actually quite disingenuous of you. That's quite disingenuous of you.
There is no save
think
button in the settings, so
damn. Okay. I mean, it theoretically shouldn't. Anyway, it's, you know what? Mysteries. Maybe in the spirit of spooky season, maybe there's a ghost in the OBS.
That's my theory. My theory is that our OBS is haunted. I've said it since day one.
Yeah.
Remember when everything got deleted from the crossover?
I remember. Yeah.
You remember? You were there.
Do I remember that? I remember the whole afternoon of that. We did so. Okay, we'll get into advice in a second. Basically, we tried it. What did you do? You tried to use kind of a new. It was like a Streamlabs, or it was some new sort of version of OBS.
Yeah, it was called OBS, and it
turns out it was OB in the
end. It was it promised to be much more tubular and more radical features.
More rad.
And I tried it, and it turned out to be significantly less tubular, significantly less rad cool than I thought it would be, and it fucked up my whole shit, and I just had to rebuild it again back over in rinky dink original vanilla OBS.
The troubleshooting that I went through was a level of like I utilized every skill I have in my professional job to try and solve this problem, and it was an unsolvable mystery. Much like this first question from Sanam Sanable on Quora, who asks, what do I say when my boyfriend asks, how much do you love me? When my boyfriend asks, how much do you love me? What do I say? What do I say to that?
You say, look, love is it's so hard to, it's 2022 and it's so hard to quantify love.
How do you,
I mean, I've been in, dude, I just got done doing 2 years of lockdown. Like, what is love? Baby, don't hurt me.
What am I? And what are you? Like,
I think when your partner says, how much do you love me?
How much do you love me?
You hit him back just with a question of your own. Say, how long is a piece of string?
Oh, let me tell you. You've asked me a how long is a piece of string question. So let me hit you back with another question. Not just how long is a piece of string, but what is string? Okay, what are we using it for? Is it sort of a MacGyver situation? Are we trying to sort of solve a small problem that could be wrapped up within a 40-minute television episode? What are we doing here?
With that guy who later went on to be in Stargate SG-1? What's he up to? You know what I mean? That's the real question. These days? What's he up to now?
What's he up to? And babe, could you Google it and find out for me? I'm interested. Is sort of how you should respond to that question.
Richard Dean?
Yeah, what's he up to? Anything interesting?
David. David, don't. If I can make an appeal to the audience.
The look on your face when you read that, whatever you just read.
If you're a big old fan of Jack O'Neill from Stargate SG-1, aka our boy Richie Dean, do yourself a favor and don't Google Ricky D.
What happened?
What happened is the question. Oh no, Ricky D.
Has he done a Me Too or something? What's he done?
No, not really. It's just the sands of time have really crept into every fiber of him.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
It's just I wasn't look, we all get older, we all age.
But
that's not the point. I just wasn't prepared for it. I wasn't prepared for him to look like a little ghost man.
Oh my god.
He looks like a ghost man.
He's got, you know what the vibe is? And I gotta be real. This is like, just bear with me while I live edit this into my fucking screen for the audience at home. The vibe is he looks like a janitor at the school in Scooby Doo who turns out to be like haunted or something. Like there's something about this man that truly is
Richard
you
Dean
know what I mean?
Anderson. Yeah, that's the one I saw.
He just look at that. Look, that's a ghost man. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's
Oh
not.
my fucking lord! I just found it. I'm gonna have to give me a moment. I just found the image. Um,
I'm gonna.
it's really gonna put it in perspective for those of you who don't know who he is. I'm gonna. There's a side by side image of how I remember him and then how he looks now, which is this image here,
Yeah,
and that's sort of really hitting home as far as
this
my
is
age
this
and
is
our
how
generation.
this is how Ricky Dean Ando will forever look in my mind.
That's how he looks in my brain. But
That's
then you sort of
that's him all the time.
you draw your eyes to sort of the right hand image on my screen, sort of vis-a-vis how he looks today. And it's kind of a confronting experience realizing that he's that old, and that means that I'm getting older faster than my dreams are getting accomplished. And that's really cool to just sort
But
of
you know what?
have
While
happening.
I look into Ricky Dean Ando's melted mask face that he has now, I want to just remember that, first of all, that's mean. He's brought, you know what? He's brought me so much joy in my life. It doesn't matter how big you make him. It doesn't matter. He could get so bizarre looking and I wouldn't even care.
Yeah,
Ricky
for
Dean
sure.
Ando has brought me. Okay, what's happening? You
What's
sort of
up?
yeah. What I love about that is that I can see it on my other monitor. There we go. David's sort of figuring
It's
out.
upside down.
David's figuring out technology in real time.
It's upside down.
If you flip yourself upside down right now, you'll be able to read and throw it in a mirror. Flip it upside down. Put it in a mirror. You'll be able to read what the fuck it is that David's writing.
I don't know. I've made it worse. Now it's back to front.
Ricky Dean Ando has brought myself so much pleasure and joy. Stargate SG-1 is fantastic.
Yeah.
I haven't revisited it, so because I thought in my head that Keenan and Kel was really good, and I did try and revisit it not that long ago, and it's not great. Some stuff you got to leave in the past. That's what I'm learning.
You do.
You got to leave it where it was, and just remember it. Just go, I remember that being good at that time. Don't try and revisit it now because I'm sure, like The Secret World of Alex Mack, Clarissa Explains It All, you know, Saturday Night Snick, or you know, all those great ones that we all loved and enjoyed.
All the ones that definitely aren't alienating our kind of TikTok audience.
Definitely.
And our Zoomers who are here.
Just leave them where they were in the past and remember them fondly. Remember Alex Mack turning into a puddle and doing whatever it was that she was doing. I think she had telekinesis. Remember Sam climbing up the ladder in Clarissa Explains It All, you know, and being like, ring a ding dong, I'm here to chat to you about stuff. You know what I mean? And again, David's still, it's funny that David is writing James, You're Old, while he is struggling to figure out how computers work. It's a wild journey that we're all on. Yeah, but we're remembering. What I want to remember from this is that Richard Dean Anderson is a wonderful man.
Absolute legend.
Again, I'll put an asterisk on that because I haven't looked into. Maybe he's done something. Maybe something has surfaced about him, and I don't want to be in his.
To our knowledge, he seems like a wonderful man.
He seems like a wonderful man, and he has brought myself, my friend Matt, and my dad as well so much joy from watching Stargate SG-1.
Now, because this is so my dad, he was a Star Trek guy.
My dad's a Star Trek guy too, yeah.
And let me tell you, the amount of time, you know, the amount of summers that I spent on his couch watching Star Trek Next Generation, I've been rewatching that series recently, and you know, sometimes like he was saying, in my memory, it's really good. That show holds the fuck up. Like, it is still incredible. The first season's rough, but it's incredible. Big tick of recommendation.
Not Deep Space Nine, just really quick while we're here. What's the other
Hey,
one?
what's up?
What's the one with the
There's
female captain?
Voyager, I think. I think.
I accidentally wrote Deep Space Voyager. Uh
Space Voyager.
Star
Yeah,
Trek.
Star Trek Voyager, right?
Star Trek Voyager is absolutely the one that I was thinking of. Yeah, great one
Yeah.
too.
Now, if you were sort of sitting there and you were thinking to yourself, wow, David seems like an eligible bachelor. Look at all that knowledge of Star Trek.
Yep.
Let me tell you, you were accurate in that assessment.
And also, just wait till you plumb the depths of David's Doctor Who knowledge.
Okay, it's funny you say that.
I stood on a landmine. I stood on a Doctor Who shaped landmine, and it's exploded, and now we're all victims of it. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry I done this.
So
this is where we die. Yeah, continue.
So I do a podcast with my friend. Darth. zeroindebt.com/give up to 3. It's a Sherlock podcast about the BBC show Sherlock, which is written by the same guy that wrote a lot of the modern Doctor Who. He's not great at what he does. And we were having a production meeting the other day, and he jokingly was like, "Ha ha ha! You seem to have memorized all of Stephen Moffat's work. I bet you know all of the episodes he's written of Doctor Who and the titles and the plots of them." And I had to really confront myself for a moment, because I remember, and I'll make a video out of this with my brother at some point. I remember the title of every Doctor Who episode he's written while Matt Smith was the Doctor. I remember the plots of all of them, and I can probably, like, without much effort, list them all in chronological order without much prompting. And that's just in my brain forever. Like, that's taking up real estate.
Yeah,
I guess.
And it's interesting that you still have sort of James Year Old written.
Yeah,
it's sort of like the more we talk, we seem to really understand that maybe you're the one who is ancient.
Yeah,
probably.
Yeah,
so this is the text on the screen is the inner workings of David's mind.
Yeah. Yeah. That's just sort of my new gimmick, because I sort of have a word cloud above my head at all times.
So as we take a voyage on back to Earth to answer this question, someone says, "How much do you love me?" You say, "This much," and you do big arms.
That's fun. I was going to say not as much as I love Star Trek Next Generation, because now you got me thinking about Star Trek. So
okay.
So that would be my. Or do you want
oddly specific?
Yeah. Do you want like a serious answer, or are we just doing goofs?
You can do a serious. You can. Hey, first of all of mine were serious.
Oh,
I take my work here on this show. Yeah, I'm at work right now, David. Okay, and I take the work that I do on this show very seriously.
That's not what I meant. You're a funny kind of, you're a rambunctious guy. I appreciate your comedy styling.
I'm 6 liters of fun. I get it.
Yeah, I didn't mean that, like, what you were saying was like that you weren't being serious or taking the show. I just meant it seemed like you were doing you said a funny thing, and that was sort of what I meant by what I said about this. I didn't mean to imply that what you said you weren't serious. I just don't want you to think that I don't think that you take the show seriously, because it's like, obviously you do. So I just definitely. And now it feels like I've over-explained it to the point where it sounds like I do. While think you were talking, don't take it seriously.
While you were talking, I was sort of looking at myself, and I'm finding it funny that I referred to Richie Dean Ando as a ghost when I look very ghost-like in my whiteness on this podcast. So that's sort of just a realization that I was quietly having to myself.
What's the spooky season for ghosts,
you look,
James?
Yeah, you look more of like a human color, and I've got more of a corpse tone going on. But again, it is the spooky season, so it does sort of spooky season,
if there's going to be a time of year for
spooky, scary skeletons and all that stuff. So
yeah. James, I have to ask you another question, if that's okay on this advice podcast.
Real quick.
Yeah.
You can't.
Yeah, what's up?
You said you were going to have a serious answer to when someone says, "How much do you love me?"
Yeah.
Your answer is...
I didn't prepare an answer. I was hoping you'd say no. Let me get scented.
Okay.
Let me get scented. I'm not stalling at all. I'm definitely not filibustering to think of an answer.
Okay.
Let me get scented in my own head. Let me kind of zero in on...
Feels a little bit like stalling now.
If someone asked that... No, well, if I was stalling, you would know it. I'm sort of zeroing in on the thing that I would say if someone says, "How much do you love me?" a serious answer that's not for goofs and gaffs. Okay, ask me the question.
Hey, David, how much do you love me?
A lot.
Mm,
Like a lot, a lot.
yeah, no, I sort of.
More
Mm,
than I love Master Chief.
mm. That one's got a weird mouthfeel to it. I'm going to be honest. What you just said
But
there.
more than I more
Keep in mind that the
yeah,
context in
what's
which
up?
this is probably happening. We've gone out on a lovely date. We've seen a wonderful
Yeah.
movie. We've seen Harry
What movie?
Styles in that new movie.
Don't worry,
Uh,
don't
Don't worry,
worry.
darling.
Yeah,
And then
or
we
as we
had
call it in Australia, no stress.
no
No stress. No walkers, babe.
no Walker's Babe, my
Yeah,
favorite one.
yeah, that's
And
a good one.
we had some gelato,
Yeah,
and now we've gotten back to my place. We're sitting in my car out the front, and I say, you know what? I love you so much. How much do you love me? And then you go, a
and then
lot.
I say a lot more than I love Master Chief, and then you go, wow, because you know how much I love Master Chief from the very good Halo franchise video
Yeah.
games, because he's got the big green armor and he's he's very tall, and I love tall things, so that's sort of where I'm at.
David,
With
should I
yeah,
break up with my
what's up?
girlfriend?
Um,
I feel I can't have an intellectual conversation with her. She says dumb things and doesn't even try to expand her knowledge. I'm not a genius, but I need mental stimulation. And that question was from Jay Bazanotti from Quora.
that's a really great question, James. So a thing I try and do when I gather questions is I try and avoid what are clearly 16-year-olds asking for advice about life.
Yes.
This one slipped under the radar on good old Cora.
Yeah.
James, let me tell you. Should I break up with the girlfriend? I can't even talk about anything. She says dumb things. Doesn't try to expand her knowledge. I'm not a genius, but I need to admit. So the question you have to ask yourself is: are you a judgy cunt, or is she a bit dumb? And they could both be true. I'm not saying that they're mutually exclusive. You know
That's
what
a
I
good
mean?
point.
Like you could be a bit of a piece of shit for posting this, and she could also just be. Now, here's the thing. I think that like intellectualism and the way that we measure this stuff is bogus, right? Like you could be really smart but not be a great conversationalist. Okay, so I think you need to narrow the scope of what you're asking. It's like just because she don't have an intelligent conversation doesn't mean she's not really fucking switched on. The better question is, I'm, you know, I'm looking for a partner who I can have an intellectual conversation with. This isn't that relationship. Clearly, it's not working. But the idea of like, she dumb, can't even talk good. What an
Jay,
idiot.
I wanna address this one. I'm gonna talk right to you when I answer this. First of all,
Yeah,
thank you so much for the question.
we appreciate it. I'm just gonna grab my beer.
Second of all, fully fuck you
Yeah,
forever.
if you could go fuck yourself incredibly
Yeah.
hard and never
Hey
come back
Jay,
to the internet.
here's a really interesting thing that maybe you haven't considered, other than the fact that you're a dumb cunt, which is ironic. Particularly given the question.
The question, yeah.
Your partner doesn't need to give you everything that you need. You can have other relationships with other people where you get different things from, you might have a friend, you're really into movies. Oh, your partner's not really into movies. That's cool.
Great.
My friend Jason, he's really into movies. We chat about movies and we go see films on the weekend. Cool. I'm really into music. Well, not everyone's into music. So who do you talk to about music? Probably your mates and other people who are into music. You know what I mean?
Like
you don't need to get everything from a single person.
Like you wouldn't message me and be like, you wouldn't message me about music because you're not interested in music from the 80s that dads were into.
Yes.
Do you know, like but we talk about art and creativity a lot and things like that, or like we talk about podcasting or the industry. Like,
Yeah.
you have different people in your life who you receive and give different things to, and who have different value and you have different relationships with. And it's the like, on the one hand, like, okay, first of all, I agree. Go fuck yourself.
Imagine this dude. Imagine this
Like,
dude. Like, hey, my girlfriend's a real dumbo. Should I break up with her because she can't even have an intellectual conversation with me? And she says and does dumb things and doesn't even like read books and stuff. Like, what an insufferable fucking douchebag.
But this was my point about, like, when I filter these questions before I add them to the doc, is like, this feels like a teenage person. I hope this is a fucking teenager.
Probably
who doesn't
not.
know any better.
Unfortunately,
If this is
probably
a
not.
grown-ass fucking man or woman, or however they identify, this is a grown-ass person. This is the weakest shit I've heard in a long time.
Unfortunately,
like,
there do seem to be people of all range. Like, you know, this type of mentality does seem to stem across a wide range of ages, unfortunately. And I don't know, it feels like this like weirdly elitist, like I'm so much smarter and holier than thou mentality. Like, it feels really like cunty and really self-important, and like you think you're better than people, and that like what they need to give you something. What are you bringing to the table, mate?
Yeah, they owe you something. I mean, I was like this as a teenager. Like, when I was 16, I was that guy. The thing that you have to fucking learn as an adult, or you have to learn as you learn to treat people, like specifically learn to treat women as people, is like,
not even as an adult. These are things you need to learn to be just like
to be
not an insufferable cunt of a human being.
Yeah, to be not a gigantic cunt.
Yeah.
And the biggest thing is, like, no one owes you anything. Okay, like doesn't matter what the situation is. No one owes you anything. You're the only thing within your control as a person is how you react to the things that happen to you and around you. And this kind of reaction of like, she can't fucking have an intellectual conversation, should I break up with her? That speaks fucking volumes about you and says nothing about her.
Yeah. So what I find funny is like, this only reveals something about you.
What do you mean by fucking intellectual conversation? You and I could have an intellectual conversation about art, and someone who's an engineer could look at that and be like, they're just fucking talking bullshit, and vice versa. And like, we could be having an intellectual conversation about our feelings or something like that, and someone else might look at that and say, that's not intellectual at all. That's fucking emotion. That's worthless. Like, what's the fucking metric that you think is so fucking important? That's the thing that it's like. You need to take a fucking step back, my friend, and go, what is it about myself that means I expect, like you said, this one person to fulfill all these needs? And truthfully, if you say to yourself, you know what, in a romantic partner, the thing that I would like or that I desire is whatever your version of intellectual conversation, whatever that is, that's something that you feel like you need. You kind of need to maybe take a step back and be like, why do I think that? What's my reference point here? What's my framing here? Like, could I be getting that somewhere else?
I'd argue not a lot of introspection happens over here. It does.
Also, to be fair, on Quora.
Yeah. I don't want to rail on someone too bad, but yes.
No,
you absolutely,
it's an embarrassing
question. Should break up with them because you should set them free. You insufferable cunt.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, that's hey, you know what? Fuck you, Jay. James, is it? Let me check my watch. Is it feature question time on the old dial on my wrist?
It absolutely is. Sorry, I have a folder down here called Davide. Wow, what a mysterious. It's an empty folder called David. I think this
this
is
something you need to
haunted.
tell me?
I think this is haunted, to be honest. I think this might be the Discord ghost letting us know who its next victim is.
Oh no,
I
James, I'm
seem
so
to
young.
be perfectly fine. You might be rat fucked. So
Shit,
good luck. You did piss off witches
that's
a while
tough.
ago, so
I did not. You
So-
are. You've really framed that in a particular way that I think is not
Huh?
true.
probably got Subway
James-
stands coming after you as well.
Don't. The Subway's fucking hot garbage. The James, let me. Listen, I'm not going to back down from that. Let me tell you something about this feature question that
Okay.
So a lot of the time, feature questions are hard to get, is what I would say. And what I mean is, like, I need to find something that's funny but also meaty, and also like something that we can talk about. It's a balancing act. All right. I go through a lot of fucking advice to find a feature question. I opened up I opened up Reddit the other week because we missed last week because you were dying of the plague. I opened up Reddit the other week and I went to newest threads in an advice subreddit I always go to. This was the first thing that came up, and I copy pasted it and I was like, I'm done. This is perfect.
Okay.
This is a kind of a sort of a fated feature question, if you will. So this one I have titled dutifully, "Dude, where's my car that mom says I can't afford?" I'm so confused and need help on what to do, and if what occurred can be dealt with legally. I got a courtesy call today from an associate from my car dealership saying they received a letter from my mother saying that, quote, I could not afford the car payments to my car. And he wanted to know if there was anything. Yeah.
Fuck. Why are you dogging me, Mom?
Out of the gate, it's a lot. And he wanted to know if there was anything he can do to help, as in bringing my car in and trading it for a cheaper one or returning it. I told him, quote, my mother doesn't even know where I bought my car from, much less how to send a letter to a company. Weird response. Anyway. So I didn't believe she sent it right off the bat and was concerned as to who sent the letter and why. So I add in, can I see a proof? So this is where it gets fucking wild. Can I see proof of the letter through like email or text? Like, send me a photo. And he replies, no, ma'am, I cannot since I've already shredded it. And then I say, excuse me, you shredded the letter? Yes, ma'am. Without contacting me first? Listen, ma'am, I was just giving you a courtesy call.
It did say it would self-destruct in 15 minutes
It said if I didn't shred it. So, yeah, exactly. Listen, man, I was just giving you a courtesy call because I read the letter from your mother saying you can't afford the car anymore. Then I said yes, but I've already said it wasn't from her. You shredded the only proof there was. Aren't you even a little concerned as to who sent it, claiming to be my mother, about the vehicle? No, ma'am. At this point, I was furious and confused, and not just at the situation, but at his rude and condescending tone he took with me, as if I'm being irrational and dramatic over this. He then proceeded to hang up on me when I said I would be driving down there to speak to them in person.
So he's gone, oh, fuck. And hung up. It's like, I didn't think they'd come down here.
I didn't think you'd come down here.
I thought I was going to.
that I know you have in your possession.
Oh, man, I thought I was going to do my scam goof over the phone and just be fine.
I called the dealership 2 times and got a hold of the dealership sales manager and explained to them the situation. And he seemed even more confused.
Why? Why wasn't your first port of call to pick up? Hey, hello, Mum. Yeah, dude, did you send a car dealership a letter about me not being able to afford my car? And then take it from there. No, you didn't? Didn't think so.
This entire story goes on and that doesn't happen. So I called the sales manager and explained to them the situation. He seemed confused by what was going on and said he'd speak to his manager and call me back. Yeah, I would be baffled. Regardless, even the manager seemed nonchalant about the situation and made me feel as if I were overreacting.
Yeah, that happens. We get a lot of letters, lady. I don't know what you want me to do about it.
And then we shred them immediately. You know how it is.
Yeah.
That's sort of the whole thing. The question is, I'm so confused and need help what to do and if it can be dealt with legally. This is wild.
What can I do? I'll tell you what, dude. You have missed some fucking steps in your investigation, right?
Step 1. Call mom.
Step 1. Do not quit your day job and become some form of investigator or crime solver. Okay?
Private
because
investigator, not your career
off the
track.
table. It's off the table for you.
Detective, absolutely not.
Absolutely not. Because step number one to verify whether or not mum actually sent this letter is to pick up my phone, call mum. Mum, did you write a letter like a lunatic to a car dealership to tell them that I couldn't afford a car?
Mm-hmm.
No, didn't think so. Thanks, mum. Love you. Love you so much.
Yeah.
I'll talk to you later. Bye bye. Hang up. I'll tell you
That's
what.
step one.
This is also why I wouldn't be a very good investigator, because I don't know what step 2 is. He shredded the evidence, dude. Right? Step
James,
number 2. No, step number 2.
No,
here's what I do.
Step number 2. No, okay. You tell me your pitch, and then I'll tell you the correct thing.
Step number 2. Make a list of all of the people that I told of about my car.
They know.
Someone somewhere in my life is out to get me, and this letter will reveal who the fuck it is. So now I have a letter of all of these people, and I don't call those people. I show up because I want to see. I want to see the look on their face when I say it to them.
Catch them unawares. So you want to see that guilty expression.
Exactly. So like ding dong, and then I'm like,
me, your boy. James, are you showing up in the car? Are you pulling up in the
absolutely am. Absolutely am.
You got to do it to him like that.
Right?
Yeah.
Ding dong. You're at the door.
Hang on. Can you knock for me? 1 second. Kirk. Hey, buddy.
That door could use some WD-40, by the way. Hey, what's going on, mate?
What's up, man? How are you? I'm good. Why? Nice car.
You're being real weird. You're being real weird, man. Are you having what's happening? You having a strange day? What's going on? Everything good with you? What's happening?
I'm great. You're the weird one. You shut up out of nowhere. What's not that I didn't mean it like that. What's up, man? Where you why are you here? Do you want to come in? How are you?
I'm getting worked up. Is what's happening with me.
You get why?
You have something. But hey, before we get into this, get into
what? I don't know what you're talking about.
I know.
So
I know, and I want to hear you say it, and I want you to tell me.
You can't,
because you're acting real weird, man. You're acting weird.
You show up you're acting weird. You show up out of the blue in your car. You're being weird. I don't know what you're talking about. And also, you can't know about that. I haven't told anyone that. So I don't know what there's nothing to tell is I guess what I mean.
All right. I didn't want to have to do this. I didn't want to have to do this.
Do what? I don't know why you're here.
Here's a photo of your wife and child. I have them tied up in the back of a van. I'm sorry that I've had to escalate it to this point. Okay? But I told you about my car. Uh-huh. Your hands are covered in ink for some reason. Suspiciously, the same ink that was written on a letter.
Fine, I'll listen.
Written any.
No,
maybe I should have opened with. Hey, mate. Written any letters lately?
No, James, I have to be. Even my wife doesn't know about this, so I hope you'll trust to keep this between me and you. Some years ago, due to a freak accident when I was at university in my dormitory, the only way that I can get off now is using ink as a lubricant. I'm ashamed of it. I'm not proud of it, but that is why my hands are covered in ink. Yeah.
2 seconds. 2 seconds, please.
Yeah. Okay.
Jack, kill the kid.
I promise it's just I
kid's
promise
dead.
No,
your kid is dead. Your kid's already dead. Now it's time to start thinking about your wife. Okay?
Well, Sarah knows. She
Sarah knows what?
What did she'll she'll put ink on her hands and she knows about my problem, and I'm going to therapy.
David,
but
I'm not talking about the problem. I'm talking about the letter you wrote to the dealership that I bought my car at.
Ink to write letters. I use it to masturbate.
Marco, take off her left hand. David, the more you talk and the more that you don't give me what I need, the more appendages you Mrs. loses. All right?
You want me to fucking tell you the truth?
Tell me the truth.
You want me to fucking tell you the truth?
Yeah.
I sent that fucking letter. And you know what? The ink that I used to write that letter was already used for something else. So just think about it. Do you want to know why? Do you want to know why I fucking sent that letter?
Why?
I don't like that you have a nicer car than I do. I feel like you undermine me with that fucking car. You pull into my fucking driveway in the street where my fucking kid lived, where my kid lived, in that fucking whip, and you upstage me like that in front of my friends and family. You know I'm a prideful man. You've known this about me for years. How dare you? How dare you drive a 2013 Mitsubishi Lancer when you know I drive a 2011 Mitsubishi Lancer? That's fucking disrespectful. That's what that is.
Ashton Kutcher's behind the bush back there. We were just doing a punked on you.
What?
Ashton.
Oh,
we just done a punked on you.
That's really fun. The stuff I said about the ink and the master,
there's
doing
a camera,
because I knew
there's a camera over here.
Yeah, because I knew I was being punked, so I played it up for the camera. I don't wank off with ink.
There's a camera in the headlight on in my car.
It's a lot of cameras.
And Ashton's back there with a big camera too. I'm surprised you didn't see it the whole time.
You startled me with your arrival. Can I ask him about Friends with Benefits, or is that's not him? Is it? He's the other one.
He said he won't talk about it.
Is that no way? James, this, you know what?
Friends with Benefits is fucking Justin Timberlake, you lunatic.
What's the other one then? He's in a similar sex one that I always get mixed up.
Just Married? Just Married.
No, it's the same premise. No, it's the same premise. It's exactly. But it's
Just
title.
Married.
No.
I don't know. Ashton Kutcher movies.
Kutcher IMDb. It's exactly the same premise, but it's got a different title, and I cannot think of what it is, and that's gonna drive me fucking crazy.
Spread?
No.
Is that the one where he's like the playboy? And he's getting with cougars or something? Rich cougars?
Strings attached. No strings attached. No strings attached. It's the same premise as Friends with Benefits. It's exactly the same film, just with him and Natalie Portman instead of Justin Timberlake and Mila Kunis. Something to think about.
Guess we were the ones that got punked, huh?
I guess in the end, 'twas us that were the punked all along.
So that's probably how I would handle it.
Yeah, you know what? I'll be honest. If you did, if that was a real scenario and we weren't doing and I definitely don't. The ink thing that was improvised, that was sort of a comedy bit. But if that happened in real life,
that was a deep dark truth that I think that bubbled to the surface in the form of sort of in the spirit of comedy, but in the truth of reality.
I guess I'd thank you not to, put thoughts into the listener and viewers' heads about things that you know nothing about. I guess what I would say is that if you had that approach and you rocked up on my doorstep and I had done the deed, I would tell you immediately, because that was I felt grilled. I was on the back foot the whole time. I was okay. You're adding some text there that I don't appreciate.
What's up? I think you've added that because you've added one up here,
right, as well, on my computer screen.
Yeah. I don't know what that's about, but
Right. That's weird that kind of appeared.
Oh, you took it
that's
down. There you go.
happened, huh?
You must have taken it down. It's not there
Me?
anymore. Yeah.
I didn't do that, so that's weird that you would say that.
I just feel like you got to show up.
Mixed signals.
You've got to look them in the face, all of your suspects, and just make them feel weird. Make them feel like they're.
That's your suggestion.
Well, and sort of allude to some things. Maybe, I mean, it depends how serious you want to get with it. You could.
What's
okay.
up? What's up?
Okay.
Sorry, I couldn't see you over the sort of what's going on here.
It's weird that you're making yourself taller because I know how much you love tall things.
I love tall things.
Yeah.
I love them. Yeah.
What I like about that is that you've just written like a little bit of text on above a picture of me, whereas we can infinitely turn your clips into fun GIFs.
Really
clips,
out of context things that
reels,
fired from
TikToks,
a job, like
things about. All I'm saying is, if you're David's employer, just check how much time he's spending in the supply cupboard. That's all I'm gonna say. Probably
Jokes
a lot.
on you. I get it shipped to my house.
He's probably using the special like refill yourself like Japanese special like perfectly pitch black ink. That's how I'd imagine he'd use it.
It's Korean. It's not Japanese.
I feel like you just gotta, because again, depends how many bridges you potentially want to burn over this, but you can allude to the fact that everyone you that suspect of this, you can maybe let them know that their hands aren't entirely clean. Maybe you've got a little dirt on them.
I kind of agree with your initial thought though, which is like, you've done no work on this. Like, you've gone, this thing's happened. You haven't even fucking asked the person in quite. The other thing that's interesting to me is, let's say no one told the deal. Like, let's say that no letter was sent. What's the dealership doing? Like, surely you having a loan on a more expensive car is beneficial to them. Like, that seems to rule out the possibility that they are behind it for me.
So you think the dealership is not involved in any way?
Well, if they are, like, it doesn't make any sense to me, because isn't the whole thing about this setup of like business that they want you to default on your loan so they can take the car back and you still owe them money?
Maybe this helps them with like proving that, like a little record of past behaviors. We got a little secret tip off that
we got the inside word
that they weren't necessarily someone who could afford to pay a car loan of this size.
I could see that. I could see it. It seems, and I don't want to put on a tinfoil hat, James, but it seems to me. Hang on 1 second.
Seems to me,
right?
You live your life.
It seems to me that
candle in the wind.
It seems to me that there's something fishy going on here.
Really quick, I'm afraid that what you're doing might actually be piping more data into your brain than actually protecting you from information. You might be piping straight into Big Apple.
The Wi-Fi's going straight in there.
Yeah, you ever see that? See the Batman movie that had Jim Carrey that played the Joker, and he sucked off people's heads with that machine that he had? I think that's what's happening to you.
You think that's what's occurring? Now, you know me, I'm a famous Apple head.
Oh, yeah. We call you a Steve head.
Yeah. For those...
Heinous.
Those who didn't understand that part, it's because I had the thing on my head. Anyway, I'm not particularly proud of that joke, but it did happen. So a few options here.
Okay.
Yeah, interrogate everyone you know, vis-a-vis the who knew that you were buying a car.
Yes.
Second option, interrogate the people in the dealership. Find where they live, go into their homes at night, and demand answers. Option 3,
demand the shredded paper. Demand the shredded letter.
This was going to be my initial suggestion: is wait till they close for business, Go to that
Rummage
garbage
through the
bin
trash,
and
dude.
rummage through it.
Yes.
Find the bag with the shredder waste. You know how
Yep.
it is, and then sort of piece it all back together with sticky tape until you find the letter. Do you know what I mean? Sort of a fun jigsaw for the whole family.
Some level of detective work here. Any whatsoever.
Try anything. Do one thing.
Start at step fucking 1. Do any type of detective work on this. Have you seen the latest Batman movie? Detective work.
He's there at a crime scene. He's looking at bodies. He's making a good film that's excellent. You understand.
You get it. You've seen it. You know.
It. And if you haven't seen it, what are you doing? It's one of the best films of like the last probably like 10 years.
So can I get really proof of the letter? And he replies, "No, ma'am, I cannot since I've already shredded it."
Yeah, I shredded it. It's weird, right?
And maybe get also, some better details from him. What envelope did it come in an envelope? Was it addressed to someone? Was it addressed to you specifically? Did it just say needle? Did it have no name on it? Did it say to whom it may concern at this Zups dealership? Like
that's an explicitly regional reference. I love it.
Yes, without contact. Listen, ma'am, I was just giving you a courtesy call because I read from the letter that your mother sent, saying you couldn't afford the car anymore. I just don't.
It's fucking weird, right?
If you're giving me the courtesy call, why are you now being so standoffish with me? You told me about this. I'm just trying to fucking understand what's going on.
I don't. 1 second. Let me check something really quickly for you. I don't know the quickest way to do this. How do I do it? I guess if I go like this and I go like this and I go.
He then hung up on you.
It's all very weird. I'm trying to see if I can find. Is there just like there isn't. Okay, old phone. Hang on, I gotta do it. It's you pick up the phone.
I like to let it ring a couple times beforehand, so I like to really make them want it. And just when they think that they're not going to get through, hello?
Hi, is this James?
Yes.
Yeah, it's me from
Who's me?
It's Larry from Zups down in Kedronbrook. I'm just calling as a bit of a courtesy.
Yeah.
Just calling as a bit of a courtesy.
Yes, my favorite Zups. Yes. I buy many cars from there.
Yeah, well, you recently purchased a 2013 Mitsubishi Lancer from us. And this is more of a courtesy call than anything. We did recently receive a letter from you might know her, your mother, sort of explaining to us that you can't afford the repayments on the vehicle. And so this was just a courtesy call to let you know that that's the case and to sort of find out, I suppose, if you had any interest of sort of going to a model that's slightly less flashy than your friend David's, who has a 2011 Mitsubishi Lancer.
No, because first of all, David's got a dipshit blue one. I bought the red one, obviously, much faster. Everyone knows that. Now,
right.
I would look. What did Mum say? What did Mum say exactly in the letter?
In the letter that you couldn't afford the repayments.
Anything else? What? Can't what? So the letter said, "Dear Zups at Kedronbrook, James can't afford the repayments on his brand new lightning fast, red 2013 Mitsubishi Lancer. Ta-ta."
Well, there were less.
What the fuck?
There were less adjectives. But yeah, I mean, the letter said. If I'm being honest with you, I don't remember the specifics.
Just read it back to me. Just read it back to me, then.
The letter?
Yeah, just read the letter back to me. What did it say? What did Mum say?
I'd love to, but we have. We have shredded it as per our policy.
You shredded it.
We shredded it per. Yeah, it's per our policy.
What the fuck do you mean?
Yeah.
Dog. What do you mean?
What
Okay.
do you mean?
What do I mean?
It had identifying information on it. I'm not going to leak that around the office.
Yeah, cool. So you shredded the letter that you don't remember fully what it said before you decided to fucking give me a phone call to give me a courtesy call about a letter that you got, yeah? What are you, fucking brain dead?
What's a courtesy call? That's what I'm like. I'm being polite by calling you.
So polite. So polite. Thank you. Oh, thank you so much for doing that. Fuckwit, you deleted, you erased the letter from existence before you called me to tell me what was on it. And I said, I asked a very simple question. Hey, fuckwit, what's on the letter? And you said, oh, me no, because I shredded it. What the fuck are you talking about? You shredded the letter before you fucking called me. Yeah, okay. I'm starting to think no letter came through. You keep your cunt hands off my 2013 red Mitsubishi Lancer, you fucking dipshit. Can't afford the repayments. Mum knows I can afford the repayments. I've been saving for this for days.
So I understand you're upset. This is a courtesy call just to let you know the information we've received.
Okay, here's what you can do with that. What you can do with that information: shove it up your asshole. Okay. You received a courtesy letter. Oh, this is a courtesy call to let you know that we got a letter. I don't give a shit.
It's our business procedure. I didn't mean to upset you.
Your business procedure is to what? Shred letters before you fucking read them to people, or not keep it as evidence. What are you, fucking stupid?
I don't make these policies. My boss
Cool.
does.
Here's my policy. I'm gonna give you the money, fuckhead, and you're gonna give me my 2013 red Mitsubishi Lancer, and I'm gonna continue to give you that money until I own it, and then me and you are never gonna have an interaction ever again. All right? Whether you got a letter or a fucking email or whatever, I don't give a shit. What do you mean you shred? Oh, mate, I meant that's so weird. I meant to tell you actually that your mum sent me a voicemail message this morning. Yeah, I would play it to you, but I deleted it immediately because I'm a fucking moron.
So this might be a weird time to tell you this, but I am sleeping with your mother.
That'd be why. Mum came with me to the dealership and I saw her eyeing up my fucking 2013 red Mitsubishi Lancer. And she kept talking about how fucking cool it would be for her to be zipping around town in it. And I said, Mum, hands off the Mitsubishi, all right? You gotta... don't get me started. Mum's been a Subaru head, WRX head her whole life. Yeah. For weeks, I'm talking about my 2013 red Mitsubishi Lancer, and now all of a sudden she's I walk in, I walk into the lounge room. What's up on the fucking? What's up on the computer? Mum, looking at Mitsubishi Lancers.
She's a passionate woman, and she knows what to do with that passion.
She's done this to me before, right? She fucking bought the Samsung Galaxy S9. And I told her it's bullshit, it's dog shit. The camera on it sucks. There's no low light functionality. She kept talking about, the stylus is great. And I said, Mum, you're gonna fucking regret it. Get an iPhone. Just get the iPhone. So what happened? Mum got the Samsung Galaxy S9, and I got the iPhone 13. And what is she going on about? I can't take photos at nighttime. My fingies can't hold the stylus. And I said, Mum, you should have got the fucking iPhone. I told you to get the iPhone. And what's that? My iPhone starts to go missing. Mum, where's my iPhone? Where's my iPhone? All of a sudden, I can't find my iPhone.
Well,
come to find out, Mum's been using my fucking iPhone 13 this whole time. She's done it before, and she's doing it again with my Mitsubishi 2013 red Mitsubishi Lancer.
What you have to understand about the iPhone 13 is it's great for low light photography, which is mostly...
I know that! I told her that!
It's got very good focus. It takes very crystal clear images of my body when we're making love, and so that's really been
I explained all of that to her. I explained exactly that.
Well, people are allowed to make mistakes, and when she takes nude photographs of us while we are engaging in sexual intercourse.
I've seen them. They're very
the addition
artsy.
of the iPhone 13. You get it. Like, you understand. I think that you shouldn't hold her past mistakes over her
You
head
should have
like
seen
that.
the pixelated
She's doing her
nightmare
best.
dick pics that she was fucking taking up until she started rocking around with my phone. Ridiculous. Fucking didn't know what you were looking at. These low light fucking pieces of shit.
So that was my pixelated penis that you were looking at.
That's fine. You keep fucking having sex with mom, doing whatever you're doing, but you tell her this.
I wouldn't say sex.
You touch my 2013 red Mitsubishi Lancer, and I'll end you, cunt.
And scene.
Yeah. And that wasn't me talking.
James,
that was this character.
That was the character.
That was this character.
Now,
I want to just preface this. That is not how I would handle a situation like that at all.
And
right?
And to be clear, if I was in that position, I wouldn't use an iPhone 13. I would use a DSLR with some kind of like backlighting.
Exactly.
I'd probably do it properly, professionally.
Exactly.
In order to take photographs of myself during coitus. I would probably have done that. I wouldn't use an iPhone. Steve doesn't need to see that. Okay?
No.
So
I know.
That's for me and my camera.
Okay, Steve. Oh, what? Oh, you just invented iCloud for my convenience, did ya? I know you're sifting. I know you're sifting through my dongs and my butt pics. I know.
Looking at them, being like, these are my favorite. I know what you're doing, Steve.
I'm not going to give Apple any more fucking pictures of me naked. I'm not going to do it. I refuse to do it. They don't need any
more. They've already got so many. They don't need
more
more of them.
Fucking OnlyFans with all these pictures they've got of me.
Now that's a good business pivot for us. Black Swan Society OnlyFans. That's where we're going. That's where we're going next.
It's this.
That's the big evolution.
It's what you're seeing right now, but it's and it lines up perfectly with the show. But it's a camera, still the same. Everything else the same, right? The free version is above the waist. The paid version, pants off, below the waist, webcam.
But to see the whole thing, you need to watch both at the same time.
And just stack the videos like on top of each other.
Stack them on your monitor. Yeah. We understand it's a lot of work, but to be honest, the experience is excellent. And if you get them slightly out of sync, it can be kind of disorientating, but we think that the value that we're delivering is worth it. James, we should end the show before it gets sillier.
Sorry.
What's up?
All we got from that is how I would resolve the issue with the letter, right? And in your instance, someone calls you about the same situation. Mum's written a letter about you not being able to afford the car. This wonderful brand new 2013 red Mitsubishi Lancer.
Mm-hmm.
What's your approach? What do you do?
I'm trying to think. Let's think this through. So Anne has written a letter to a car dealership.
Yep.
I can afford it. This ain't an issue. I think probably
you immediately think that your mum's done it. That's your first protocol. Because I'll tell you right now, me and Sally, my mum, ride or die. She'd never rat me out like that. She'd never rat me out.
Let me see if Anne's around.
If I got that email or that call, I know for sure it's bullshit. It's a scam.
She just sold her car. So
Hello.
Hey, we're just doing a show and I had a dumb question. You just sold your car, right?
Yeah.
So the scenario that we're talking about is somebody has gone to a car dealership to buy a car. They've purchased the car and it's on like a payment plan. And the dealer calls them and says, hey, your mom sent me a letter saying you can't afford the repayments on the car. Right? The person, the person who's bought the car on the repayments, the son in this case, doesn't know about it. Very strange. Why would you do that? Is that a scenario that you could envision? You see me buying a car and you say to yourself, Dave can't afford that car. I'm going to send a letter to that car dealer. And
going over David's head, I'm going straight to the dealership.
No.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous.
It's insane,
but
right?
Also, the car dealership has a duty to do due diligence before they sell you the car. And if they put you on a payment plan, then they can't turn their back on that because they've done it based on what you
100%.
said.
That's on them.
Well, and the weirdest thing is that they So they say that the mother sent a letter, and then when in this case when I call up and say, hey, what, tell me what the letter says, they claim they've shredded it.
No, bullshit.
Yeah,
bullshit. Also, who's the dealer?
Sorry?
Who's the dealer?
It's at Kedron Brook.
Anonymous. It's an anonymous internet question. Yeah, but we just thought the scenario was wild, so I just wanted to get your gauge on like.
No.
Yeah.
So my understanding is, if you can't get the finance, in other words, if you don't have a credit check that allows you to even put the car on a payment plan, they're not going to let you have it.
100%.
And if someone sends a letter after the fact, it's irrelevant because they've already done their due diligence.
And presumably they've signed off on that. Like it's already in motion.
Of course they have.
Yeah.
Of course they have.
That's what we thought. But
I'm already cruising.
What an insane scenario.
Yeah, bullshit.
But the thing we couldn't unpack was like, what? Let's just like, why would the dealer do that? Because
unless the dealer wanted the car back for some reason.
Oh, we didn't even think of that. That's a really good point.
Unless they'd done something, or they'd sold the car fraudulently, or they'd done something, or they'd sold it with some kind of defect that they knew about but didn't disclose, and they needed to get it back. Or something.
They got like a better offer, maybe. Yeah. Yeah. No, that's that was all I wanted to ask. We've been puzzling over it.
No. So tonight when he came and picked up my car, I was like really sad. And he goes, Anne, it's just a car. And I said, no, you don't understand. And he said, no, it's just a car. Fine.
It's not just a car.
I said to Alex, it's not just a car. It was my first thing that I independently made a decision over after I quit from Gil.
Question, because this will validate James. Does red make the car go faster? The color red
has a zippier nature to it.
Does it?
No,
does it
but
have
I think it makes it a lot cooler.
You know what? We'll take it.
Fuck yeah!
Yeah, James just said "fuck yeah." It was very emphatic. He's on your side on that one
for sure.
Yeah,
for sure. I mean, my car's beautiful. Like they're gonna sell that for $60,000.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm gonna have to let you go because we need to wrap up our show. But yeah, that's I'll talk to you later.
I think there sounds like a lot wrong with that whole scenario.
That's what we said.
Either the dealer's done something dodgy and they need to get the car back. But you wouldn't say I had a letter and they shredded it because that would be no ground.
It's insane. Also, who sends a letter? It's 2022. Like,
yeah, it just sounds like bullshit to me. It sounds like the dealer's done something dodgy and they're trying to get out the deal.
Agreed. Yeah, that's our thinking as well.
Yeah, and they're trying to rattle whoever it is.
And you know what? Not on. Not cool. Not cool.
Not on.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to see you Saturday.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
All right. I'll see you then.
What, are you going to get there at about 3:30?
Yes, I think Ruby's driving.
Yeah, okay. Perfect. Okay, I'll see you then.
All right, see you then. Ciao.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
So Anne didn't really clock that I said show twice and she didn't really, but you know what? Proof. Validation.
Hey, she picked up on something that we didn't. The dealership's fucked up somewhere and they've come up with the most insane story ever to get the car back. Oh no, see what happened? Your mum doesn't want you to have it.
She said that you can't because you don't.
Dude, you know that I can call my mum, right? I'm gonna come down. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna drive down there. Who's the guy I talked to? You, cunt. Me and you. We're having a chat right now. I pull up my phone on speaker. I call mum. Hey mum, I'm down here at Zups Kedron Brook.
Did you send them a letter?
What's this letter that you sent them? No, I'm not even going to ask her. I'm just going to say, you sent Zups Kedron Brook a letter? What's that about? And then get their reaction to what she's saying straight up. Yeah.
This is my point. Calling mom like that instantly solved it.
I fucking knew. I knew the deals were too good at Zups Kedron Brook. I've said it before and I'll say it again.
Every time I look at a deal from there, I think to myself, too good to be true. And when something seems too good to be true, it's usually true and you should trust it. That's our official legal advice from the advisory. If it seems too good to be true, it probably is. Sort of regarding, that's good. Regarding the things that we say, if it's too good to be true, it probably is. So that's where I land on this whole question and the episode in general. Also, red does make it cooler, I think.
Yeah.
Sort of. I think Anne really hit the nail on the head.
What color is
Red
Anne's
does.
new car?
She hasn't got a new car yet. She just sold her old one, but every
What color
car
was
she's
that?
owned has been red. It was red.
That one was red?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, dude. Fuck
What
yeah.
color is my car? It's red. What color is my previous car? It was red. What color is the car I'm going to buy next? It's going to be red. So
yeah.
fucking let me tell you something, James. The reason the advisory background is the color it is not because of the Here for Two Unmentioned Legacy podcast. It is because red makes stuff cooler. So just think about that with your
And
color palette.
faster. And that's
quicker
why
and nimbler and zippier.
more agile, more athletic.
It's so agile.
Look how athletic our
weaving.
podcast is. It's so ridiculous.
We're so dynamic. You're jealous of it. I can tell. You're sitting there, you're jealous of our dynamicism. It's a real word. Don't look it up. Is that the show? Dude, he's looking it up. Or he's grabbing his beer. It's hard to tell. It's a real word, isn't it?
It's
Fucking
not a
God,
word.
yeah, I tricked you.
I think you were looking for dynamism.
Fuck, I was.
Yeah.
That's embarrassing for me. Thank God half of my career isn't staked on my ability to use the right words. So
no one
Dodged
clip
the bullet.
that one bit and send it to David's publisher. No one do that.
don't.
You
or
won't
my
need to
agent.
because I will. You won't need
Or
to
my
'cause I will.
agent.
So,
Okay, you don't know who that is, but that's fine. Don't send it to my agent. James, we have to end the program, the podcast that we do. And I just want to say to you, if you're listening or watching, thank you so much for listening or watching. You can find us slamming and gramming at BLAK Swan Society on the Instagram.
I've got to cut you off. Every week,
What?
Every week you done this and you're fucking up the audio listener. Every week.
What?
It's BLK Swan
Do I get it
Society.
wrong?
Every week you say BLAK.
BLK. Oh,
BLK Swan Society on all the platforms.
BLK Swan Society.
What are those platforms?
It's in
Go
the
to a platform.
fucking notes. It's in the fucking notes for the thing you're listening to. Click on the fucking link. All right. What am I?
See what happens.
Fucking naming the yeah.
See what happens. David goofs it one time, and what does he do? He lashes out at you. And all I want to say to you, I'm gonna cover up your ears right now and just you're fine. You sweet angel. You've done nothing wrong. Don't let David's evil infest and corrupt your sweet, sweet soul. It's not your fault.
Okay, can I try again?
Yeah, let's run it back. This isn't live. Hold on, I'll stop recording.
Yeah, roll it back.
And start recording it. All right, go.
All right. You can find us slamming and gramming at BLK Swan Society on the Instagram. You can find us TikToking and the body rocking at BLK. Fuck, I fucked
Pause
it up
recording.
on the second one.
Motherfucker!
BLK Swan Society on TikTok, and you can find us on the twit at BLA. Fuck! BLK
The trifecta! The trifecta!
I can't do it. Because I keep trying to find that, like, I keep trying to be like black with the A in it, and my brain cannot handle it. Anyway, you can find us everywhere on the internet. BLK Swan Society.
There it
you can
is.
Find us on social media. If you would like to send us a question, ask us something, provide some feedback, you can email us at blackswansociety.mail@gmail.com. If you're listening to this on Twitch, on YouTube, on your podcast catcher of choice, please consider giving us a rating or review or giving it a comment. These things really do help people find the show. They help us expand our audience. And to be honest, they feed my very, very fragile ego, which is the most important thing. James, it's that time of the week. We should give the folks something to YouTube. Are you ready?
Mate, when am I not ready? And definitely
Constantly.
just let me think of... got it.
Yeah. Okay, you seem like you were stalling. In 3, 2, 1.
Neighborhood.
Hegemony. Neighborhood hegemony. An exciting thing to YouTube. You can pump that into
really
your
quickly.
YouTube.
What are you saying?
What's up? Hegemony.
Use it in a sentence.
The current like leaders of society are incredible. Like the current structure of society is like plagued by hegemony. You don't know what I'm using, do you?
Sorry. me, like most people right now, confused. Are you saying hedge money, like hedge fund?
Hegemony. So okay, like
I'm so
hegemony is
glad.
like,
I'm so glad that in this very simple.
it's the
First of
opposite
all,
of homogeny. It's the opposite of homogeny.
Okay, what you've done there is this is supposed to be a fun, quick little game where you can just type in both words. They know how to spell my word, neighborhood, easy. You've said whatever the fuck that was.
I'm gonna type it in chat.
Hey guys,
Hegemony.
James's word. James's word, really quick. What's that one? Neighborhood. David, yours. A hedge off and a mammoth of money. What the fuck? How do I spell that?
It's in chat. No.
Oh yes, my word this week is anti-disestablishmentarianism. Thank you very much. See you next week, guys. What the fuck?
James, can we come back for a second? Can we come back for a second?
This fucking guy. Neighborhood.
I don't prepare these. Okay, it's off the dome.
Hegemony just came to mind, did it? That was just the easy one that came to mind.
So you texted me before the show and you asked me a question, which got me thinking about stuff, which is I think where hegemony came from, which is you were like, someone asked, should creative genius be measured by the quality of the material being produced or by the effect the creativity has on the world? And that got me thinking about like structures and stuff. And then I wrote you back like a bunch of wanky bullshit. And then I was thinking like, isn't it interesting that 4 companies own all entertainment that exists? And then I was thinking about hegemonies because it's like, those companies basically like dictate the cadence of what entertainment looks like. And then it was stuck in my brain. And then we did the thing that we do where we say the YouTube thing. And then it was just like clearly in my subconscious. So that was me defending my use of a word no one knows. Quite flaccidly, I might add. I don't think I did a good job right there.
David's word this week is glacier. Thank you to randomwordgenerator.com. We've gone with a much simpler one. You don't like that one?
With a fucking machine? You're gonna replace me with a fucking machine?
Oh, that's
is that what you're gonna do?
Well, because the machine wouldn't shit out hegemony to me. It would give me something simple. So,
hey James, that's really antagonistic. I feel like
David's word this week is brainstorm. How do you feel about that?
A little bit better.
Now I want to change mine.
What?
So
okay,
let's just let the computers do all of our jobs for us. Your word is brainstorm. My word is clothes.
Out of curiosity, because it was a machine that made it, I'm gonna YouTube.
So am I. I'm gonna brainstorm clothes. How to design a clothing line the right way from the ground up.
That's the one that I got. Yeah, by John Santos.
Okay, this bit.
I'm not proud of where we've landed on this. We need to end our program. You can follow us on social media at BLK Swan Society and all the places you care about. You can email us blackswansociety.mail.
I don't want to look. I don't want to yuck your yum. Okay.
What? I was finishing the show.
I know the whole outro. You fumbled it, and I just want to say, David, you've done a wonderful job. You've really given it your all this week. But the fact that you came out swinging with hegemony has really thrown me and everyone for a loop. Right after you gave the wrong socials, it's fine. We love you. This is a safe space, and we love you so much. Continue,
James. The advisory is live every Thursday evening from 6 to 7 p.m. AEST on twitch.tv/Black Swan Society. It will be on a podcast catcher of your choice very, very soon. We're working on it. Thank you so much for watching or listening. We appreciate the heck out of you. We realize what we are trying to do here at Black Swan Society is kind of unique and interesting. So if you know someone in your life who you think would enjoy it, you think might have a laugh or enjoy the weird rants that we do, please do pass it on. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching or listening. We'll catch you same time, same bat channel next week.
Bye. Goodbye. You can't see me. I'm waving though.
Oh. I felt it.
Gave you a kiss on the way out.
Didn't like that. Didn't consent to that. Did not consent to that kiss.